Ahoy, hoy, I'm Pavo.
And I'm Neil.
And welcome to episode 38 of That's No Moon.
It's a podcast.
Your weekly digest of all the Star Wars news that you need to know on a weekly basis, every week, every Wednesday, apart from the times when we can't do it on a Wednesday, but every Wednesday on YouTube and also available as a podcast on iTunes.
iTunes, just search Pancasters. We have all our other podcasts on there. Just say that quickly right now. Right, should we fly straight into the story?
Well, we should, because it's a story that's going to rumble for a while, I think.
It is. Right, so last week we spoke about Lord and Miller leaving the Han Solo project and what that will achieve, and rumours were flying around when we recorded this and who would take over. Well, it has now been confirmed that Ron Howard is sitting in the director's chair and taking over from Lord and Miller. Now, there has also been the rumour mill has been rumbling away. There's so many out there. But first off, I'm going to ask you a direct question. Now, Ron Howard's
I like direct questions, yes.
Has taken over. Are you worried now for the Han Solo movie?
If anyone watched last week or heard last week, yes, of course I'm worried, because the whole production is now in turmoil.
Apparently.
Okay, so...
We must say apparently.
Yeah, well, they're on a hiatus at the moment. They're not going back to start shooting anything until July the 8th.
Right.
So it gives Ron Howard the time to take stock, to see what they've shot. Now, again, a lot of it is all rumour and conjecture because we've not had it officially by anybody, but they're saying that a lot of the stuff that Lord and Miller has filmed is okay.
Yeah,
is good to use. So it's not like a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, they're going to have to reshoot the whole movie."
Well, they wouldn't be able to afford
stuff
to.
Like
the
that.
Cost of that would just be
but then if that was the case in the cost, then they would just pull the plug. And I can't see for a movie that has been in production since January and in pre-production before that, they wouldn't do that. There's no way that they would do that. That's why I think they've gone for somebody, and a lot of people online and on the internet has said that someone like Ron Howard is a safe pair of hands.
Well, he is, isn't he?
But it's what they're going to need is a safe pair of hands. Now, a lot of people have also said, well, yeah, Ron Howard's movies are quite boring. They're not very actiony. And I mean, look,
Well, I disagree with that. I'm going to just quickly jump to Ron Howard. Apollo 13, how can you say that's boring?
Yeah, it's not...
all right, he's done some misses.
I think the action, if you want to call them action, or the racing car sequences in Rush are phenomenal.
Probably one of the best you've ever seen.
Yeah, to nick one of your buzzwords. Right. But I think out of everybody that was in the running, if you like, that we talked about last week, Ron Howard seems to me to be a good bet.
And he's got history with Lucasfilm.
Because
he made Willow for George Lucas, didn't he, in Lucasfilm? Yeah. He's also...
he was in American Graffiti
with George Lucas.
So, but a lot of people are saying that, he's very straight-laced and, very boring. I would say... Look at his work on things like Arrested Development. Now, you've never seen Arrested Development, have you? He's the narrator for Arrested Development, but he's also in, I think in the last series, he was in a couple of the episodes as well. And that's very Lord and Miller in the style of that whole show. But I just think the one thing that everyone has to do, me included, is maybe not worry about it yet. I know one of the other parts of the story you're going to come up with regarding Alden Ehrenreich.
Well, we might as well talk about that now. Yeah. I mean, there's all sorts of rumours flying around now. I'm not going to say which one's correct.
Well, this isn't a rumour. This has been...
No, as in rumours as to why. So let's just say they've confirmed that there's an acting coach been brought in. Now, I've read about this, and that is not unusual.
No.
It's not. It's a bit like last year with Rogue One when they brought another person in, to help out and do things. It's not something that's unusual.
No, and they were saying last week after our show, again on various news sites and Star Wars sites, that Alden Ehrenreich was one of the ones that went to the producers and said, "Look, I don't feel this is what Han Solo should be doing."
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people then said that maybe after that, or maybe the producers looking at the dailies and going, he's not quite getting it. Right. Now, that could be, quite simply, the direction that he was being given.
Well, this is
as opposed to his actual performance.
Yeah, this is another thing I've read, is Lord and Miller on their other films use a lot of improvisation.
Yeah.
And the rumour has it that they were doing that on the set of this one, and obviously Kasdan's the father and son were not happy about that because they know Han Solo, like you said last week, and
but you can get away with it on a movie like 21 Jump Street, where it's a little bit more. The whole tone of the movie is loose and it's very wisecracky. Han Solo as a character is wisecracky, yes, but it has to be in the framework of a Star Wars movie. Yeah. It's. I mean, that's the one thing that still confuses me from the fact that it's taken so long for the producers, and with how much they've already shot, for them to then work out that Lord and Miller weren't the right people. Yeah. You know, their tone wasn't correct. That's the one thing that's. I
mean, will we ever find out?
And obviously, we probably won't.
I mean, probably in a few years' time, somebody will say something not Lucasfilm or Star Wars or Disney.
But it'll be the same as. I mean, obviously,
Edgar Wright.
But the same as the difference with Gareth Edwards. That Gareth Edwards, I think, sort of, they must have said to him that things aren't working quite right. We'll bring Tony Gilroy in, and he sort of went, yeah, okay, fine, and played ball. Yeah. Whereas Lord and Miller, they obviously had a different vision for what they wanted to do for the movie. And it sounds to me like it was going to be more of a out-and-out comedy. Yeah. Which is, again, is not Star Wars. We said that last week. But also, I noticed today that, did you realise that the editor has also been fired?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, now I've just done a little bit of research. Chris Dickens was the original editor, who's edited such things as Slumdog Millionaire, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Les Mis, the movie.
So not too shabby.
No, but he has been fired. So it seems like they're completely cleaning house.
Right.
So, you know, because again, the way you edit a movie, they always say that's the last. The editing of the movie is the last rewrite of the movie.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
So it can also give you the tone of the movie, how it's cut. So he's been replaced by Pietro Scalia. Now, he's done things as diverse as JFK,
right?
Edited, Kick-Ass.
Okay.
But he's also worked a lot with
Ron Howard.
No, Scott.
Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott.
Okay.
Flog his first name. So Gladiator, The Martian, Prometheus, Alien Covenant. He's also done Good Will Hunting and Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. But so he's got a good pedigree as well. So he's come in now to take over the editing reins.
Well, he's probably, I don't want to speak ill of him or anything like that, but he's probably a yes man.
Well,
in the sense of that they've told him what they want and he'll do it for them.
But then you can label that to Ron Howard as well.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
You could say that he's a friend of Lucasfilm. But that's something that a lot of people online have been saying as well, that he's basically a lame duck director. He'll just do what they say. I don't quite agree with that.
I don't think he's a lame duck director at all. I really don't think that's the case.
I just think he's somebody...
yes, he's a yes man, but what they will have given him is notes to what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So they'll take these 5-6 months of footage that they've filmed. They will pass it to him and say, look, this is what they've done. We don't want that. That's not the way we've want. This is what we want. Can you achieve that for us?
But it's also that they want... They need to tie down what the tone of the movie is. And I think if he comes in with more of a straighter vision, more of a narrower vision of, right, it needs to be a Star Wars movie with some light moments in it, as opposed to it being a comedy movie that's set in the Star Wars universe, which I don't think would work. It needs to have that gravitas, if you want. Yeah. It needs to have that. And again, to say that it needs to be sort of earthbound, that's not the right phrase. What am I looking for? In the tone, it needs to be kind of set in reality, if you like. But again, it's a Star Wars movie, it's a sci-fi movie, it does make sense. But it needs to sort of almost... One of the things about Star Wars was it felt lived in. Yeah. It felt like it was a lived-in world. It wasn't all shiny. It felt a little bit like the Harry Potter universe, where everything feels like it's got its place for a reason.
Yeah.
And that's what it needs to do. So you can't have people acting...
silly.
Yeah, and like slapstick.
No.
It doesn't work, and it shows you it doesn't work with Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
They tried to do it with that one character, and that one character set that whole movie off on the wrong sort of time.
Absolutely.
But look, until we see footage, the question I was going to ask you is regarding all of this now, and they don't think that the movie's going to be finished until, I think they said September, October time. Do you think they'll make the May release date, or do you think they'll push it back to December?
I think they're a bit tied in for the May, aren't they? Because they want to move episode 9 to May as well, or it's confirmed as May.
I mean, there's no reason they can't do that. It's just...
To be fair, I mean, if the principal photography is all done, the effects are being worked on probably continuously 24 hours a day. I mean, that's the way they work now, isn't it? It's just the editing, and I would imagine Ron Howard will sit in on that. Like you said, he's a safe pair of hands, and he's got a lot of experience behind him, and I think, no, I don't see why they should move it.
I just don't want them to rush it, because I don't care if they put it back to 2019, as long as they ended up getting a good movie. Yeah. If they are up against the clock and they think, oh no, we got to get it out, and it becomes... Because I'm still worried that I'm going to come out of a Star Wars movie and go, oh my God, that was
awful.
Transformers awful. And it would be... Because
I mean, we can't say there'll never be a day, and there probably might be a day. You're going to be disappointed.
There will be a day. I'm sure there will. I mean, although I never classed it as a movie as such, but that Clone Wars movie that went out,
right?
Never classed it as an actual Star Wars movie. It never felt like a Star Wars movie to me, but that wasn't very good.
Right, I haven't seen it.
But that was like a pilot to the TV series. Excuse me. So it's never classed to me as an actual Star Wars movie, if you like. But yeah, I'm still not. It's not out there. I want to see the first footage, because one thing I never said last week is the fact that there is a lot of pressure on Alden Ehrenreich.
I'd still imagine there's going to be something at D23 about this as well.
But the thing is, it doesn't matter who's directing it. It doesn't matter who's editing it. It doesn't matter whether they have the crawl at the start. If that first moment you see Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo, and you don't believe that that's Han Solo, the movie's not going to work.
No.
The movie is doomed right from that first.
But that's probably what's happened, isn't it? I would imagine so.
But this is where I couldn't understand why there wasn't anything at, say, Celebration this year, where they could have had the same as we said about The Last Jedi Celebration last year. Last year, when we were all baying for some kind of information when we were sat in that room and nothing happened, just a simple 20-second clip of you panning up some Jedi robes. He lights a green lightsaber. Everybody would have lost their shit.
Exactly.
The same as this year. All you needed, I mean, that it's not a poster, is it? It's just a photo they took of Han Solo's blaster on some counter. If you had a 20-second clip of that blaster there, he picks it up, puts it in his holster, looks at the camera maybe, and just gives that sort of wonky smile. Boom. Done. And then everybody would go, okay, right, yeah, that cheeky smile is Han Solo.
No, I completely agree with that.
It delays everybody's fear. Yeah. And I think it's building out. And I hope that there's something at D23.
I've got a feeling there will
or
be.
At Comic-Con. There has to be something, I think.
I think they'll, because they've already announced there's going to be a huge presence for them at D23, I think people are expecting that. They can't do the celebrations and spend all that time on the Last Jedi. I mean, they'll drop another trailer, I would imagine.
The only problem that you're going to get, and it's something that I think they need to just bite the bullet, is everybody is going to talk about the problems of Han Solo.
Yeah, well, just I mean, we must also remember, I mean, I know we're going on a bit, but it is important news. Edgar Wright with Ant-Man, like I said earlier on. Now, when Edgar Wright left Ant-Man, everybody said, well, that project's doomed, didn't they? Everybody went on and said, well, it's over. That's it. That's it. We can't do, it's Edgar Wright's film. And Peyton Reed turned out and made it a very good film. And
indeed.
Put his own touches on. There was obviously still a credit to Edgar Wright and Joe Cornish and everybody.
So when did that came out? 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago.
But then people are still talking to Edgar Wright about that.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, though, the movie was a success.
Yeah,
and it was a good movie. Of course, they're going to still talk about it because it's a huge thing.
But what I'm saying is if they did that, if they sort of met it head on at D23, say, and they did a panel, and they let people ask them questions, and they say, "Well, it didn't work," and at least it gets that out of the way instead of them keep going on about it. Because I do feel sorry for Alden Ehrenreich because he hasn't. I mean, it's enough pressure to be in Star Wars film for one.
Yeah.
Then it's enough pressure that you are taking over
Han Solo.
Because Gareth Edwards never had that problem.
No.
It was brand new characters.
Apart from Vader.
And he couldn't lose, because if you put Vader up on the screen, everybody's going to go mad. So he didn't really, and he could do what he wanted with the script as long as it was going to be in sort of like the boundaries of that gap of the story. Whereas this poor kid, and if he's bad, this could kill his career.
Yeah, well, it will kill his career.
And he'll forever be...
I mean, because people don't tend to... It's not about the actor in Star Wars anyway. Hayden Christensen, there you go, didn't make his career.
No, Jake Lloyd.
Yeah.
Jake Lloyd. I don't think Jake Lloyd made another film after...
No, but it's about the name rather than the thing. Right, one more quick story. This is quite a sweet one. Mark Hamill is now to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. About bloody time, I say.
Well,
they're doing a whole load, aren't they?
Yeah, it seems the whole rigmarole of getting a star, is more about what movie is coming out than about the person that is getting it. But
I'm surprised he didn't have one before, seeing as C-3PO and R2-D2 have got one.
Well, Harrison Ford's got one. Carrie Fisher has got one. I'm not sure who else. I would assume George Lucas has got one.
Give one to Jennifer Lawrence as well.
But then that'll be because there's a film coming out, and it'll be
cynical.
It will be. If you look at a lot of the ones that get them, it's because a film is coming out. You get some of these people that there's no way that they haven't got the... I mean, I did read that. I can't remember who else is on the list.
There's quite a lot of people.
But I did read the names of some of the people on the list, and I'm thinking they've done nothing in their career. And you've got someone like Mark Hamill, who is an icon.
Yeah.
All right, if you're not a Star Wars fan, then again, no, I'll take that back, because you would know who Mark Hamill was, even if you're not a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, of course you would. I mean,
you would still know who he is.
He hits the pop culture through and through, doesn't he? I mean, from Kevin Smith right through to the Batman animated. I mean, how big is that? That's huge. So I think it's well deserved. And we've seen the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
We have.
Bit disappointing, some of it, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, the thing is also it goes on for a lot longer than you think it goes on for.
Into a very run-down area.
In quite run-down areas. Yeah.
You feel a bit shit if your star ended up in one of the really run-down areas.
Exactly. Imagine if it was outside the Museum of Death that we went to.
Did it go that far?
I don't know. I mean, it probably would do. I mean, you notice on some of the parts that the stars have doubled up now, haven't they? So... but there you go.
So anyway, right, have we got any questions?
We haven't, not this week.
Oh, right, okay.
I knew that we were going to be talking about
we've gone on a bit. So if you've got any comments about Ron Howard being the director of the new Han Solo film, what do you think happened to Lord and Miller, like we said last week? And Alden Ehrenreich, will he be good? Will he save the franchise, or will he take it all on the chin? Please do comment below, and when you do leave a comment, remember to like the video.
That's right, and you can come and subscribe to our channel as well. Just click on the icon that will be up there either now or has just been, and when you do subscribe, click on the little bell icon, and that means you get notified every time we release a new video. And if you also want to have a question read out, because we do like to every so often do readers questions.
Oh, hello.
Readers vibes. Then viewers questions. We'll answer whatever you want to know about Star Wars, whether it's our opinion about something, whether you want to pick our knowledge of Star Wars,
or even quiz us.
Then email us pancast@live.com, or go onto our Facebook group.
Or leave a comment below.
What a fantastic idea.
You don't even need to do anything, just comment below your question.
Indeed.
And you will get a shout out.
Yeah, you will. So that's it for episode 38, and who knows what might happen in the wonderful world of Han Solo.
I dare say we'll still be talking about it.
We will, of course we will. Absolutely we will.
More nuggets will come out.
Oh God. Sounds awful.
It does.
It does. But that's it. So thank you very much from me, Pavo.
And me, Neil.
And may the force be with you all.
Ways.